Welcome back to another Alliance War. This time around, 4Loki is taking on the Battle Realm Assassins Elite, and I will be taking in a little bit of a unique team for a path change. The team that I'm taking in is Medusa, Black Bolt, and Nebula, a team that I have not seen anyone bring into war before, ever, in any videos at least. I'm sure somebody's done it, but I haven't seen a video on it yet. So, yeah, a little bit of a unique lineup here. And the reason why I'm bringing in Nebula is because I'm taking a Biohazard node. The reason I'm taking the Biohazard node is because I've been dying too much. They had to switch my path over. I was just getting my ass kicked left and right here, you know. So, a little bit of a path change, taking down that Biohazard node, but before I get there, and I also have some boss action, by the way, but before we get to that stuff, we got a couple of these little diversity fights to go through. Nothing too serious. Adaptive, Special Lock 1, and Recovery. And if you look at their HP, they only have 37,000. Mine is almost 34,000, so I practically, like, this feels like a duel. This feels like I just clicked on someone's profile and dueled their top champion. In terms of their stats, right? It's nothing too crazy at all. It's like an arena fight practically. And it's an Angela, okay, no problem. I could see why they would put Angela here because of the recovery, so she's going to gain a little bit more health than normal. That's fine. I actually go ahead and hold my special just because of the power lock debuff. I can get some willpower healing going. And I want to have 100% health by the end of this fight. I want to have that yellow bar. I don't want it to say 99% or anything like that. It's not really that big of a deal, but any extra health that I can carry over to the future fights and potentially save myself just even the tiniest bit of units, even if I could just save myself a fraction of a potion, I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. So, first fight down without a hitch, 0% damage taken. And now we have a 4-star science champion. No clue who's going to be here. This is a pessimist and outlast node. This is basically the definition of a diversity node. Once again, you could stick any champion on this node, so I'm not really going to spend any time trying to guess who it is. I'm just going to go in with Medusa here, and whoever it is, they're going to get run over. Turns out it's an Abomination, and that is totally fine because Medusa is poison immune, of course. Unfortunately, I will not be able to heal myself back up that tiny percentage of health that I've taken, but that's fine. Go ahead and get this guy's armor shattered, and take a look at how much damage I deal to him through his block. Watch on this next volley of attacks into his block. The first one is like 1,100. There we go, 1,100, and then some 700 hits into his block. So you deal quite a bit of damage, actually. The first time I attacked into him while he was blocking, I only attacked once, and sometimes I feel like that might be a bad habit. Like, I mean, you don't always have to attack into them 4 times while they're blocking, but the damage actually does add up quite a bit. Through that one volley of attacks into Abomination's block, that was what was that? That was something like a little over 3,000 damage, so not too bad. All right, next node up is Rolling Thunder, Limber, and Outlast. So nothing too crazy here. The Limber is what I have to watch out for the most. It's one of those 0.2 reductions on Limber versus like a 10% or something like that. So it is a more serious Limber than the average node. Going to go ahead and boost up a little bit here. I'm not going to go ahead and pop my big boy boost. Going to save those for a more difficult path. This path that was laid out before me, I didn't see anything too crazy on it, but I am, of course, going to boost up a little bit just to play it safe. And I didn't click on his profile, but I was fairly certain before going into this fight that it was going to be a Hulk due to the scouting ahead that I originally did, and sure enough, it is Hulk. It is a rank 4 Hulk, and really not too worried about this fight at all. The biggest concern is just to not get clipped by his L1, so I'm going to try to push him to an L2, trying to bait out heavy attacks or whatever I need to do in order to make sure that he gets to an L2. Because, yeah, the L2 is nice and easy to dodge. The L1 is not that difficult to dodge either, but sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you get clipped by it, so I'm just playing it safe here. I should have dashed in after that L1, and then, oh man, that parry stun timer was like nothing. I almost got punished pretty hard right there. He throws his 5 hits into my block, though, so I'm able to clean up the fight. Not the best fight there. It started out fine, but the second half was a little bit sloppy. I could have, there's a few things in there that I could definitely improve upon. It didn't really matter in this instance, but it's stuff like that you got to watch out for the future. to make sure that you know, the next time you're in that situation, because it could have went differently. I got lucky when I parried him and he shrugged it off really quickly. You know, he didn't parry me, and that easily could have been one. All right, so this is the Biohazard node. It's just Biohazard, a little bit of Limber, and then just some stats. And if you have a double immune champion like Nebula here, you effectively just make this node some stats and Limber. There's really nothing to it. You know, it becomes a diversity node at that point, right? But the whole deal is you have to have either a double immune champion or at least a bleed immune champion to be able to take down this node, or someone like Blade just to you know, pretend like the node doesn't exist. Yeah, Nebula will do the job just fine. This is the reason why I brought her. She's got that class advantage. It's a 6-star, so the equivalent of a 455. It's a little bit of 6-star on 6-star action here. And when it comes to Bishop, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I like dodging his L2 versus his L1. That one's really annoying to dodge. And it works out with Nebula here, where I'm kind of building up these shock charges and just kind of standing here waiting. I want him to throw a heavy attack. That way he doesn't throw his L1, which works out perfectly. Now I can go back to baiting out specials here instead of just holding block. So go ahead and get that done. I've got 8 shock charges and an L2 built up, so I'm ready to go and double up this shock damage. And I kind of forgot that Bishop, he's got something with energy. He's got a lot of energy resistance. Ooh, slip up there because I was worried about the energy damage I just did to Bishop, because I really remembered, like, at that exact moment. It didn't really matter a whole lot in this fight. I can't remember exactly what it was or what it is about Bishop. I think it's you know, he has high energy resistance, and then I think he gains like prowess charges when he takes energy damage or something like that. But I can't remember exactly, so I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, I go ahead and throw another L2. He gains one more of those prowess charges. And yeah, that's about it. Another 5-hit combo, and he's down. So all in all, not too bad of a fight. Like I said, once you take away that Biohazard node, it really is just a little bit of Limber and some increased health and attack. Nothing too serious to be concerned with. Now this next node up, this is also my first time taking on this node, and I was kind of afraid of this node. I wasn't sure exactly how this fight was going to go. It's got Starburst and Flare, which means I'm taking 2 forms of degeneration, but of course I have increased attack. But the enemy has aggressive regeneration. I'm thinking I'm just going to like run right over the enemy, but they could potentially heal up if something goes wrong and I need to bait out specials. So, you know, I pop a little bit of a potion there just to make sure I'm as close to 100% as reasonably possible at least. And away we go. I don't know who's going to be on this node. I looked in the profile again just to make sure I didn't see anybody. It's a 5-star science champion. There was no science champion in the profile. And it is Ant-Man. Okay. All right, no problem. So we're just going to go ahead and start chopping down this Ant-Man right here. Look at these. Oh, man. Flare is so fun to play around with. Like, I almost killed him right there. I'm just going to bait out a heavy attack, and boom, the fight's over. How long did that fight take? Like 15 seconds or something? I don't know. I mean, after that, I was like, okay, what the hell was I scared of? You know, that node was no problem. I'm sure there's like some enemy that could be stuck there that you know, gives an issue. Maybe some enemy that goes immune at some point or something like that. But that was nice and easy. So, alright, that was supposed to be it for my path. But I'm actually going to get a little bit of boss action because we ended up in a very unique situation for us where there were no more attack bonuses to be had, and Medusa still had more than 50% HP. So yeah, again, very unusual for us, but there was nothing for me to lose by throwing in my Medusa and just kind of trying out a strategy that I've been wanting to try out for a while now. I'm actually going to slow down the fight just a little bit because it doesn't last all that long, and I want to explain my strategy. But before I go in there, notice my HP. Notice I only have 24,000 life left. I am not going to heal up at all. I'm not going to pop any kind of boost or anything like that, and I also don't have Karnak on the team, so I don't have the full Royal Family synergy. So this could look different depending on, you know, boosting up healing up and having the full royal synergy. But the strategy here is, Medusa, what makes her annoying is her auto block, right? But if you can find a way to get rid of her Furies, then she's not so bad at all to deal with. So my strategy is to purposefully trigger her auto block with my Medusa, because I know that once I do that, she'll attack into me, and then I'll auto block her right back. So here we go. I'm going to do that on purpose, but watch, she's going to crit me for over 10,000, man. I was not expecting that. The second hit is not too bad because it's an auto block, but it's really better than that. It's an auto parry actually. So I reduce practically all of the second hit. It's really just that first hit, and it just so happened to be a crit. Now, unfortunately, I have no health left to play around with. My strategy, I can't do it anymore. I can't just trigger her auto block because the next hit is going to kill me, man. So, it didn't really work out, and I actually ended up getting backed into the corner here. But this is something that I would avoid if I had more health to play around with, and I could trigger her auto blocks. But didn't work out in this case. Maybe it's not the best strategy. I didn't feel that confident after this, but I would like to try it again, fully boosted and everything. But in any case, guys, that is going to do it for this war. Thank you very much for watching. Good war to you guys in Battle Realm Assassins Elite, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.